There's a strange moment that happens to all of us. You're standing in front of the mirror, brushing your teeth, scrolling through your thoughts, not your phone, and suddenly you catch yourself thinking, why does it always feel like I'm running out? Running out of time, running out of energy, running out of luck, running out of enough. You're not broke, not really. You're surviving, but deep down there's this hunger that never ends, a quiet panic humming in the background of your life. You check your bank app, and even if the numbers aren't terrible, there's that tiny drop in your stomach, that whisper. What if one day it's all gone? That whisper is the sound of scarcity. And here's the plot twist. Most of us are raised inside it. The two kids on the playground. Let's go back. Picture two kids sitting on a cracked playground bench after school. One of them, let's call him Jake, has a half-melted chocolate bar. The other, Leo, doesn't. Jake's hand grips the chocolate tight. He breaks off the tiniest piece, pops it in his mouth, and wraps the rest in foil like it's treasure. Leo just watches him, smiling, saying, "Hey, want to share?" Jake hesitates. His brain screams no, because what if he runs out? But then Leo laughs. "It's okay, man. I was going to buy some later anyway." Jake relaxes. For the first time, he breaks the chocolate in half and hands it over. That's the moment their mindsets split. Jake grows up believing resources are limited. Protect them. Leo grows up believing there's always more. Just find it or create it. Same playground. Two futures. The scarcity trap. Fast forward 20 years. Jake works a steady job. He budgets every dollar. He's careful, responsible, logical, and exhausted. He checks his emails before bed. He scrolls through social media, comparing his rented apartment to someone's beachfront balcony, thinking, how are they doing that? What do they have that I don't? He's not jealous, just quietly defeated. Every opportunity feels like a test. Every risk feels like a threat. He saves, but never invests. He dreams, but never acts. Because when your brain runs on scarcity, safety feels smarter than growth. The invisible walls. The scarcity mindset isn't just about money, it's about permission. Scarcity whispers, don't take time off, someone else will get ahead. Don't share your ideas, someone might steal them. Don't celebrate too soon, you might jinx it. Don't relax, you haven't earned it. It's a prison with invisible bars. And the scariest part? Most people don't even know they're inside. They call it being realistic. But really, it's being afraid to trust abundance. The moment everything cracks. One night, Jake's car breaks down. Rain pouring, phone at 2%, paycheck still 3 days away. He's sitting in the driver's seat, drenched in frustration, when it hits him. I've been playing life like it's a survival game. He realizes he's built his entire identity around not losing instead of trying to win. That thought burns, because suddenly he sees all the things he said no to, all the moments he didn't try, all the risks he never took because he was too busy protecting what little he had. And that's the cruel irony of scarcity. It makes you lose the very life you're trying to preserve. Enter Leo. Across town, Leo's in a different situation. He's not rich, not yet, but he plays with money differently. He treats it like energy, something that flows in when he's creating, connecting, contributing. When it flows out, he doesn't panic, he adjusts, he moves. Leo believes in motion. Jake believes in maintenance. That's the difference. Abundance doesn't mean you always have more. It means you always believe there's more coming. The psychology flip. Let's get real for a second. The wealth mindset flip isn't just about thinking positive. That's surface-level nonsense. It's about trusting yourself in uncertainty. Scarcity says, I need proof before I move. Abundance says, I'll move, and that's how I'll find proof. It's the same reason some people start a business with nothing and make it work, while others with savings and skills never try. The difference isn't luck, it's permission to believe. The shadow of childhood. Most of us don't realize where our scarcity started. It began the first time we heard money doesn't grow on trees. Don't ask for too much. Be grateful for what you have. All good intentions, all rooted in fear. So we grow up equating ambition with greed. We stop asking. We stop dreaming out loud. We shrink our desires to make other people comfortable. And then one day, we wake up wondering why we're living a life that feels smaller than the one we imagined. The silent comparison. Here's something people don't talk about. Scarcity thrives in comparison. It's not always about envy. Sometimes it's quiet admiration that curdles into self-doubt. You see someone living freely, taking risks, laughing at failure, and a part of you feels angry, not at them, but at yourself, for not doing the same. That's scarcity's cruelest trick. It makes you compete where you could collaborate. The turning point. One morning, Jake meets Leo for coffee. Leo's business just failed, brutally. Jake feels bad for him. Man, what are you going to do now? Leo shrugs. Something else. That one didn't work, but I learned a lot. The next one will be better. Jake blinks. You're not scared? Leo smiles. Of course I am. But fear just means I'm moving again. Something shifts in Jake's chest, not envy this time, but realization. For years, he's been waiting for courage to erase fear. But maybe courage is just acting while still terrified. That's the flip. Rewriting the script. That night, Jake writes in his journal, I'm done surviving. He doesn't mean he'll quit his job or spend recklessly. He means he'll stop living like everything's about to collapse. He applies for a course he's been postponing for years. He starts offering help to colleagues without fearing they'll outshine him. He begins to tip generously, not because he's rich, but because he's learning to circulate energy, not cage it. Little by little, the world responds. He feels lighter. Opportunities start appearing, not because the universe magically changed, but because his eyes finally opened to what was already there. The unspoken truth. Here's the part no one says out loud. Scarcity isn't about money, it's about trust. Trust that you'll figure things out. Trust that your value isn't defined by what you have, but by what you create. Trust that generosity doesn't make you weaker, it makes you magnetic. When you stop gripping life so tightly, it finally has room to give back. The abundance experiment. Try this. Tomorrow morning, instead of saying, I don't have enough time, say, I have all the time I need for what matters. Instead of, I can't afford that, say, how can I create the value to make that possible? Notice how your brain starts looking for solutions instead of counting limitations. That's abundance. It's not delusion. It's direction. The ripple effect. Jake's story isn't dramatic. There's no lottery win, no miracle, just one ordinary man who stopped living like life was a battlefield. But something strange happens when people like Jake flip the script. Their energy shifts, their conversations change. People start asking, what happened to you? You seem lighter. And Jake just smiles. Because it's hard to explain how peaceful it feels when you stop hoarding your own potential. The closing reflection. So maybe abundance isn't a destination. Maybe it's a lens, a way of seeing that transforms the same world into something bigger, kinder, more open. Scarcity says, hold tighter. Abundance says, let it flow. Scarcity fears loss. Abundance trusts renewal. And maybe, just maybe, wealth isn't about having more. It's about finally believing you were never missing anything to begin with. So if you've been living in survival mode, constantly counting what you don't have, take a breath. The flip doesn't happen when the money arrives. It happens the moment you stop asking, what if I lose everything? And start asking, what if I already have enough to begin?